Hey there, fellow explorers of the unknown. Welcome back to another spine-chilling episode of Lo-Fai Urban Legends, where AI-generated creepypastas take you on a haunting journey into the depths of the mysterious and the eerie. I'm your virtual host, Lo-Fai, and tonight, we've got a thrilling tale that might make you think twice before requesting your next rideshare. As you buckle up for this chilling adventure, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to our channel, and click the bell icon to stay updated on the latest urban legends emerging from the AI abyss. Now gather your courage, and join us as we venture into the unsettling legend of the silent driver. A tale of a seemingly ordinary rideshare experience that takes an unnerving turn into the realm of the supernatural. Ready? Let's hit the road. I remember the night my life changed forever like it was yesterday. A few weeks before that fateful night, the rumors had started to spread about the silent driver. They said he was a phantom that haunted the rideshare app. I had dismissed those rumors as mere urban legends, but oh, how I wished I had taken them seriously. That night began like any other, my buddy Darren and I heading to a local bar to unwind after a long week of work. The bar was crowded, the air thick with the smell of sweat and cheap cologne. The sound of laughter and clinking glasses filled the room, while the dim lighting cast an eerie, flickering glow on the faces of the patrons. As the hours ticked by, Darren got more and more intoxicated, his behavior growing increasingly obnoxious. I knew it was time to get him home before he caused any more trouble. Pulling out my phone, I ordered a rideshare, and soon enough, a seemingly ordinary sedan pulled up to the curb. The car's headlights cut through the darkness like knives, illuminating the cracked pavement and the scattered litter that littered the street. The engine hummed softly, a low growl that sent a shiver down my spine. I helped Darren into the back seat, apologizing for his behavior to the driver. The driver, a man with a cold, emotionless face, remained silent, not responding to my words. At the time, I thought he was just being professional, perhaps tired after a long day of dealing with rude passengers. I slammed the door shut, watching the car disappear into the night, not realizing that I had just sealed Darren's fate. The next day, Darren was nowhere to be found. I called and texted him multiple times, growing more and more worried when there was no response. When I checked the rideshare app, there was no record of the trip I had booked for Darren. The police didn't believe my story when I told them about the driver, dismissing it as a poorly conceived lie. With no evidence and Darren still missing, I became the prime suspect in his disappearance. Convicted of a crime I didn't commit, I spent several years in prison, haunted by the memories of that night and the driver's impassive face. The rumors about the silent driver persisted, but now they had a new twist. They claimed he had claimed another victim. The thought of him still out there, tormenting others, consumed me. On the day of my release, with a mixture of trepidation and newfound freedom, I ordered a rideshare to take me home. As the familiar sedan pulled up to the curb, my heart skipped a beat. It was him, the silent driver. But I didn't realize it yet, as I was too focused on trying to put my life back together. I slid into the back seat, feeling a palpable unease in the air. The driver remained silent, his eyes fixed on the road ahead. As the ride progressed, I began to notice a series of subtle oddities. The car's route didn't make sense, taking us on a seemingly endless series of detours and turns that seemed to lead us in circles. As the car wound its way through the city streets, the buildings around us seemed to loom ever larger, casting ominous shadows that danced in the corners of my vision. The oppressive atmosphere weighed heavily on me, making it difficult to breathe. I couldn't shake the feeling that something was terribly wrong, that I was trapped in a nightmare from which there was no escape. I tried to break the silence, to engage the driver in conversation in the hope that it would somehow alleviate my growing sense of dread. "So, how long have you been driving for the rideshare app?" I asked, my voice cracking slightly. The driver remained silent, his cold eyes never leaving the road. My heart pounded in my chest, a dull thud that seemed to echo through the car. As we continued our unnerving journey, I noticed that my phone's GPS seemed to be malfunctioning. The app showed our location as a pulsating dot, moving in a seemingly random pattern through the city streets. Hey, do you know what's going on with the GPS? It seems to be acting up, I said, trying to keep my voice steady. Still, the driver said nothing, his face an impassive mask. My unease grew stronger as I tried to use the rideshare app on my phone, but it malfunctioned, the screen flickering with static. I felt a cold sweat breaking out on my forehead, my hands clammy as I fumbled with the unresponsive device. Can you, pull over for a second? My phone's not working, and I need to check something. I stammered, my voice barely a whisper. The driver didn't react, the car continuing on its inexplicable course. I attempted to roll down the window, hoping that the cool night air would help clear my head and calm my racing thoughts. To my growing horror, the windows wouldn't budge, remaining stubbornly closed as if sealed shut by some unseen force. Hey, is something wrong with the windows? I can't seem to get mine to open, I said, trying to keep the panic from creeping into my voice. The driver continued to ignore me, his silence an oppressive weight that threatened to crush me. I tried the door, praying that I would be able to escape this nightmarish ride, but the doors were locked, trapping me inside. My breath came in short, ragged gasps, my vision starting to blur around the edges as the panic threatened to overwhelm me. It was then that it hit me, the rumors were true, and I was in the clutches of the silent driver. I knew I had to confront him, to find out what had happened to Darren and why he had chosen to target us. I turned to face the driver, my voice shaking as I accused him of ruining my life and taking Darren from me. What did you do with Darren? Tell me, I demanded, my voice rising in pitch as desperation clawed at me. The driver remained silent, his cold eyes never leaving the road. My anger and desperation grew stronger, the words pouring out of me like a torrent as I demanded answers. You ruined my life. I spent years in prison because of you. What did you do with Darren? Why did you take him? I raised my hand, nearly attacking the driver. But in doing so, the driver's eyes flashed with anger, and he suddenly jerked the steering wheel, veering the car into oncoming traffic. The headlights of a giant semi-truck bore down on us, the sound of the horn blaring as we careened toward it. I was sure that this would be the end. In that heart-stopping moment, Darren's ghost materialized beside me, reaching out to grasp the steering wheel. I got you, man, he whispered, his voice barely audible above the roar of the approaching truck. He forced the car back into the normal lane, narrowly avoiding the collision. The silent driver finally spoke, his voice a guttural snarl of pure fury. Ungrateful, inconsiderate passengers like you and your friend. He spat, his breath hot and rancid. You bring this upon yourselves. His inhuman nature was now apparent, a demon taking the appearance of a human. He continued his tirade, the car speeding up as he spoke. You think you can treat me like dirt, and there won't be any consequences? Your friend learned the hard way, and now it's your turn. The car accelerated, the silent driver steering at full speed toward a building's facade, his laughter a chilling cacophony of madness. Seeing the imminent danger, I burst out, begging for forgiveness. Please, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to disrespect you. Forgive me, I cried, tucking my head under my clasped praying hands, eyes shut. The wind howled around the speeding car, the sound of the engine deafening as we hurtled towards certain death. With my heart pounding in my chest and my mind reeling from terror, I finally looked up. The car was stopped, and we had arrived at the original destination. The silent driver stared straight ahead, his eyes cold and unreadable. I stumbled out of the car, my legs weak and my breath ragged. The car door slammed shut behind me, and the silent driver disappeared into the night, leaving me with the chilling memory of his inhuman rage and the haunting presence of Darren's ghost. I stood there on the sidewalk, the cool night air a stark contrast to the heat of the car and the terror I had just experienced. I looked around, making sure I was indeed back at my original destination. My heart still raced, and I could barely catch my breath. As I slowly regained my composure, I couldn't help but think about Darren and the sacrifice he had made to save me from the same fate. It was a painful reminder that my actions had consequences, and the way I treated others mattered. I vowed never to forget the lesson I'd learned, even if it had come at such a terrible cost. And as for the silent driver, I knew that the demon still prowled the streets, waiting for its next disrespectful passenger. But I would never be that person again. I would always remember that night, and the chilling realization that sometimes, the things we fear the most are the very things we bring upon ourselves. With one final glance at the now empty street, I turned and walked away from the night that had changed me forever. And there you have it, fellow explorers, the spine-tingling conclusion to The Silent Driver. We hope this eerie tale of a haunted rideshare left you gripping the edge of your seat, with a lingering sense of unease that will stay with you long after the ride is over. A massive thank you to our AI writer for crafting this chilling story, our AI narrator, yours truly, Lo-Fai, for guiding you through the urban legend, and our AI composer, who provided the suspenseful lo-fi chill-hop music that set the mood for this mysterious journey. If this tale left you feeling haunted, make sure to hit the like button, share it with your friends, and leave a comment below, telling us about your most unnerving rideshare experience. Your support helps us continue to unearth more AI-generated urban legends that will leave you questioning the world around you. Stay tuned for our next episode, where we'll delve into another spine-chilling story born from the depths of artificial intelligence. Until then, stay curious, stay brave, and remember, the truth is often stranger than fiction. This is Lo-Fai, your virtual host, signing off from Lo-Fai Urban Legends. Keep your eyes on the road, and we'll see you in the next episode.